Hello everyone. We are students for the University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, currently taking the multivariable calculus course BE 2030T for semester 2, session 2K24 and 2K25. Under the guidance of our respected lecturer Dr. Xavier, we would like to present the solution to our project question. In this presentation, we will show both manual calculation and MATLAB coding simulation for each question. These are the member of member of five group who have worked together to complete the assignment. We have the Muhammad Alif bin Abu Bakar, Muhammad Ikmal Syauqi bin Cik Mazlan, Adwarini bin Abdul Hai, Muhammad Fahim bin Muhammad Bahaya, and me, Muhammad Izzuddin bin Pangeran. So we hope this presentation will be helpful and informative, and that it can benefit those who are learning the same topics. So thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the presentation. So for the first one, at the question one for the project multivariate calculus, we get the equation. In question, the equation is x squared plus y cubed equals 4. To solve this, I use two methods, which is explicit and implicit differentiation. So for the explicit method, I rearrange the equation to make y the subject, then I differentiate it using a chain rule. So y is the subject, so y I put the into the left side. So for the implicit method, I directly differentiate both sides of the original equation. So since y is a function of s, I apply the chain rule to the y terms. So at the end, I compare both results by substituting the expression for y from the explicit method into the implicit result. So as we can see, for the question C, which is the question is check that the derivative in part A and part B are the same. So after I substituting the expression for y from the explicit method into the implicit result, then I confirm the both method give the same derivative. So we can write for the manual answer calculation, the derivative in part A and part B are same. So next we move to the coding in the MATLAB simulation. So in the MATLAB, I define x and y as symbolic variable. So I wrote the equation and apply both differentiation method, explicit and implicit. As we can see, the coding for the first one in explicit and the coding the second one is implicit differentiation. So then I use the substitution and simplification to compare both answer, which is I use the coding for the verify equals to I use coding a y underscore substitute equals to 4 minus x square. So under the coding y underscore substitute is verify equals to simplify subs dy underscore implicit y underscore substitute minus dy underscore implicit. So, and don't forget to write the coding display for the verification should be 0 if they are zero. Um, after we use the coding of display, then they show the output, which is the output shows 0, the difference between the two, confirming that my manual calculation was accurate. So as we can see in the command window, of the output is they write the verification should be 0 if they are same, which is 0. So next we move to the question 2, which is this equation give us the equation x divided by dy cube equal 1. So I started by solving for y explicitly, then I differentiate it using a power rule. So for the implicit method, I differentiate the original equation directly using the equation rule and chain rule. Then I solve the equation to get the derivative of y with respect to the x. I substitute the explicit form of y into the implicit result, and both method match. So in the question C, we can see the question is check that the derivative in part A and B are the same. So uh, the result is matched and same. This confirm the correctness of my steps. So we move to the MATLAB code explanation, which is with using this MATLAB, I define the original equation and apply both differential method. So then I use substitution to verify the implicit and implicit derivative were equal. So I write the for the display the result and verification, which is verify equal to simplify sub dy underscore implicit comma y underscore substitute. So I put the coding of display verification should be 0 if the same. So the output I have been shown in the command window, and the output confirm that both result match with supported with my manual calculation. Question 3, partial derivative using the chain rule. So in question 3, we are asked to find the partial derivative of a function named w, which is made up of three variables, which is x, y, and z. For each of these variable depends on the other variable. So x is the sine of p, y is plus 3 t minus 4s, and z is t cubed divided by s squared, and p is defined as 1 minus 2t. So our goal is to find the partial derivative of w with respect to the t and also with respect to the s. So to this manually, I first substitute all the expression into w, so that w is written only in terms of t and s. So then I apply the chain rule carefully. This means I have to take into account how each part of the function depends on t and s, either directly or through the variable p. So for the example, uh, when differentiation s, I using the chain rule for sine and also include the derivative of p. The same idea applies for y and z, since they also depend on p, t, and s. Although the process is long, the chain rule helps to break it down into small part. So at the end, I get full expression for both partial derivative, one with respect to the t and one with respect to the s, as the manual calculation I show. For the question 3 in MATLAB, I define all the variable using the symbolic expression. Then I substitute p into the definition of x, y, and z to express everything in terms of t and s. So next, I define the function. I define the function of w using those substitute forms and use the built-in different function to compute the partial derivative of w with respect t and s. So finally, I use the simplify function to make the output cleaner and more readable. So the resulting expression for the MATLAB, which is result in the command window, match the structure of the manual method, and they have confirmed that the chain rule was applied correctly. So we can see in the command window partial derivative of the w respect to the s get the same with the manual calculation that I have been made. So we move to the next question, which is question 4. In this equation, we need to calculate the volume under the surface defined by the function z equals 3 plus x squared minus 2y. So the region of integration is from x equals 0 to 1, and for each x, y range for negative x to positive x. So I first integrate the function with respect to the y, then I simplify the result and perform the second integration with respect to the x. So after completing both steps, I found that the total volume under the surface is 3.5. So this is the calculation in the calculator, which is we get same after we differentiate, which is 3.5 unit. So for the MATLAB coding, in this MATLAB, I define the surface function and the integration limit symbolically. So then I use a double integration, first with respect to the y and then with respect to the x. So I convert the final result to a decimal using the double function. So the output was 3.5, which is matched with my manual solution exactly. So the output show in the comma window. So is written the volume under the surface is 3.5. How I can get the output? We 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 must use the coding of display. So display the volume under the surface. So the output is show at the comma window after we run it.
Hello everyone, today I will present the solution to question 5 from our MVC project, in which we compute the volume enclosed between two surfaces both by hand and by verification in MATLAB. Second, manual solution. We are given two surfaces. First, upper surface, which is z equal 3 minus x square minus y square, and the lower surface z equal 2x square plus 2y square. We want the volume between them. Step 1, find their intersection. Set 3 minus x square minus y square equal to 2x square plus 2y square. So the region in the xy plane is the unit disk r less than 1. Step 2, switch to polar coordinates. X equal r cos theta, y equal r sin theta. Jacobian factor dA equal r dr d theta. Step 3, form the integrand difference of surface. In bracket 3 minus r square minus in bracket 2r square equal 3 minus 3r square. So the volume integral become V integration in bracket 3 minus r square minus in bracket 2r square close bracket dA equal integrate in bracket 3 minus 3r square r dr d theta. Step 4, set up limits. R from 0 to 1. Theta from 0 to 2 pi. Step 5, compute the integral. And then, thus the volume is V equal 3 over 2 pi in bracket unit cube. MATLAB verification, we know, confirm this result with MATLAB. So, just key in the coding and the output will be 4.7124, which is we convert the 3 over 2 pi and then alias 4.7124. Next, I will explain how to calculate the volume of a tetrahedron using both simulation, which is manual calculation and MATLAB simulation. This is based on question 6 from our project. We are tasked with finding the volume of a tetrahedron defined by its vertices. A equal 200, B equal in bracket 030, C in bracket C equal in bracket 001, and the origin O equal 000. The tetrahedron is bounded by these 4 points in 3D space. The problem involves calculating the volume of a tetrahedron whose vertices are given as A equal to 200, B equal to 030, C equal to 001. The origin O equal to 000. This tetrahedron is formed by connecting these 4 points in 3D space. To find the volume manually, we use the formula for the volume of a tetrahedron, which is V equal 1 over 6 A dot product A R dot product times in bracket B times C, which is B times C are cross product, where A, B and C are vectors from the origin to the vertex A, B and C respectively. This formula calculates the scalar triple product of the vectors and divide it by 6 to get the volume. First, we define the vectors from the origin to each vertex. A equal to 0, 0 from O to A, B equal to 0, 3, 0 from O to B, C equal to 0, 0, 1 from O to C. These vectors represent the edges of the tetrahedron originating from the origin. Like cross product and dot product. Now we calculate cross product B times C. So the answer we get from B times C are 300, and then we compute the dot product times with A, which is we get the answer are 6. Finally, the calculation we get the answer V equal to 1 with using previous formula that I said. Next, for the MATLAB simulation, we get the output. The volume of the tetrahedron is 1 cube units. To verify our manual calculation, we use that coding. The volume of the tetrahedron with vertex A equal to 200, B equal to 030, C equal to 001, and the origin 0 equal to 000 is 1. This result was verified using both manual calculation and MATLAB simulation. In conclusion, next question 7. I will explain the answer. We are tasked with evaluating the triple integral, where the region V is defined by 0 less than x less than z square and 0 less than y less than 2, and the last 0 less than z less than 1. Narration: the problem involves calculating the triple integral of y square in bracket of y cos in bracket z power of 5 over a specific region in 3D space. The limits of integration are x from 0 to z square, y from 0 to 2, z from 0 to 1. Manual calculation. To solve this, we integrate step by step. First, integrate with respect to x. Second, integrate with respect to y. Third and the last, integrate with respect to z using substitution. To solve this manually, we perform the integration in 3 steps. Step 1. Respect to x. So, we get the answer y z square cos in bracket z power of 5. Step 2. Integrate with respect to y. We get the answer 2z square cos in bracket z power of 5. The last step, integrate respect to z. Using substitution u equal z power of 5, we rewrite the integral with let u equal to z power of 5, then du equal to 5z power of 4 dz. When dz equal to 0, u equal to 0, And when z equal to 1, u equal to 1. So we get the final answer 2/5 sin in bracket 1. For the MATLAB code, the output symbolic result 2/5 sin in bracket 1 alias 0.2524 numeric value. I will explain how to evaluate a triple integral over a region bounded by a plane in the first octant. We use both manual computation and MATLAB simulation. We are tasked with calculating 6z² dv, where E is the region below the plane for x plus y plus 2z equal 10 in the first octant, where x more than 0, y more than 0, z more than 0. The problem involves evaluating the triple integral of 6z² over a region E in the first octant bounded by the plane 4x plus y plus 2z equal 10. To solve this, we need to determine the limits of integration based on the plane intercept. Finding the limit of integration. To find the limits, set each variable to 0 and solve for the others. When y equal to z equal to 0, for x equal to 10, x equal to 2.5. First, we determine the limit. Setting y equal to z equal to 0, we get x equal 2.5. Setting x equal to z equal to 0, we get y equal to 10. Setting x equal to y equal to 0, we get z equal to 5. This gives us the bounds x range from 0 to 2.5. For each x and y range from 0 to 10 minus 4x. For each x and y, z range from 0 to 10 minus 4x minus y over 2. Manual calculation setup. The integral becomes integrate 6z² dz dy dx. Solving the inner integral with respect to z. Integrate with respect to z and we get 2 in bracket 10 minus 4x minus y over 2 close bracket power of 3. So next, integrate with respect to y, we use substitution. U equal 10 minus 4x minus y, which transform the integral into du equal to 10 minus 4x close bracket power of 4 over 16. Let v equal to 10 minus 4x, then dv equal minus 4 negative 4 dx. When x equal to 0, v equal to 10. When x equal to 2.5, v equal to 0. The integral becomes 312.5. Finally, we get the answer. Next, for MATLAB simulation, the output we get is similar with the manual calculation, which is 312.5. This result was verified using both manual calculation and MATLAB simulation. The value of the triple integral is 312.5. Both the manual step-by-step integration and the MATLAB simulation confirm this result, ensuring its accuracy. Thank you.
For question 9, sketch the vector field for fxy is equal to 2xi minus 2j. For the manual calculation, we need to assume a random point in order to sketch the vector field. So for this calculation, I assume a 5 point to decide a vector field. So this is our manual sketch. And for the MATLAB, I assume x and y for the axis range and y axis range, and then we use mesh grid function for the grid point, and then we use a quiver syntax for plot the vector field. So this is our final vector field.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Alif bin Abu Bakar. My matrix number is CE240141. In this video, I would like to present about the question 13, surface integral on a plane. For the manual calculation, we are asked to evaluate the surface integral of 6xy over a surface S, where S is the portion of the plane x plus y plus z equals 1 that lies in the first octane. This means x, y, and z must all be greater than or equal to 0. The region projected onto the xy plane is a right triangle bounded by x equals 0, y equals 1, and x plus y equals 1. We solve the plane equation for z, obtaining z equals 1 minus x minus y. The surface area element ds is given by the square root of 1 plus the square of the partial derivative of z with respect to x plus the square of the partial derivative of z with respect to y. Both derivatives are negative 1, so the surface element becomes the square root of 3 dx dy. The integral becomes double integral over r of 6xy times the square root of 3 dx dy, where R is the triangular region in the first quadrant bounded by x plus y less than or equal to 1. After integrating, the final result is 1/4 times the square root of 3 or 0.433. And we go to the MATLAB coding. The MATLAB code defines the integrand symbolically using sims and integrates over the triangular region described. The integrand is 6xy times the square root of 3. First, the code integrates with respect to y from 0 to 1 minus x, and then integrates the result with respect to x from 0 to 1. MATLAB returns the value as 1/4 times the square root of 3, which match our manual calculation. Then, for the question 15, conservativeness of a vector field. For the manual calculation, we are given a vector field f equals 6xi plus 2y minus y squared plus 6z minus x cubed k. To determine whether the field is conservative, we compute the curl of the vector field. The curl is defined as the cross product of the del operator with the vector field f. Computing the curl, the I component is the partial derivative of the k component with respect to y minus the partial of the j component with respect to z, which is 0 minus 0 giving 0. The j component is the partial derivative of the I component with respect to z minus the partial of the k component with respect to x. That becomes 0 minus negative 3 x squared, which is simplified to 3x squared. The k component is the partial of the j component with respect to x minus the partial of the I component with respect to y, which is 0. Since the curl is not equal to 0, the vector field is not conservative. For the MATLAB coding, in MATLAB, we define the vector field symbolically and compute its curl using the built-in curl function. We simplify the resulting vector, then we use a condition if statement to compare the result to a zero vector. If the result is zero vector, the field is conservative, otherwise it is not. MATLAB evaluates the curl and find that the J component is 3 times x squared, and thus the code outputs the field is not conservative. That's all from me. Thank you, and I will pass to my friend Fahim.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Fahim bin Muhammad Bahiar. So I will present about question 16. So in question 16, we are given the vector field f vector equals to, in bracket, 4y square plus 3x square y over z square I plus 8xy plus x cube over z square j plus 11 minus 2x cube y over z cube k. We need to determine whether this vector field is conservative. In calculation, I use curl to check conservative. A vector field is conservative if curl times f vector equal to 0. That means the curl of the vector field is 0 in the region. Show the image that I use for calculation, manual calculation. I manually compute the curl step by step using the determinant of a matrix involve partial derivative and component of f vector. I evaluate each component. Each of these result in 0. So the final result is curl times f vector is 0. Therefore, the vector field is conservative. So for the verification using MATLAB code, to confirm our manual work, which means my work, I also compute the curl using MATLAB. This code defines the symbolic vector field and use MATLAB's Boolean curl function. The output of the curl was 0, 0, and 0. This confirms that our field is conservative. Both the hand calculation and MATLAB confirm curl times f vector equal to 0. So the vector field is conservative. That means it has a potential function, and any line integral from point A to B will be independent in the path taken. So that's all. Thank you so much.